Hi guys, welcome to my August wrap up. This is a really sad video because this was by far the worst reading month I've had this year. I would say we should start with the stats because it is honestly just embarrassing. So I only read 5 books in August and that's totally fine honestly, but just in comparison, I've been reading 10 books at least every month. And another thing that is I bought 42 books in August, which is also because I bought a whole bunch of manga and I have for example 14 volumes of Tokyo Ghoul, smaller manga, and I can read them in an hour or so, it's not as bad, I don't think, but still 42 is a lot. I think I might end up doing a book haul as well, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm now going to show you my other stats for this month. So I only read 1 physical book, 1 actual novel, 2 audiobooks, and 2 graphic novels or manga. I read 1,609 pages in total and 809 pages physically. This includes novels and graphic novels and manga. The average amount of pages was 322 and the average amount of pages for my physical books was 270. I gave an average rating of 3.6 stars, which is not too good. 42 books that I bought. Let's move on. My TBR currently is at 194 books. And I have 106 books that I could start immediately, so this does not include sequels. Let's just move on and get into the books that I read this month. The first one was an arc I got of NetGalley, and it was for the T-Dragon Tapestry. This comes out later this year, I'm not sure when, but this is the 3rd graphic novel in this series of graphic novels. But I think this one was actually my favorite so far because it had a little more substance to it. It dealt with a couple of more darker themes, I guess, but it's still for younger readers, really young children, but obviously adults can read it too. And the art style is just so good. The author really outdid herself in this one, honestly. It's so stunning and I can't wait to get my hands on this when it comes out. And I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I then read Orange Future. This is the manga follow-up to the Orange series. And so if you didn't know, the Orange manga series is about this group of people at school and they get a new boy in class, and the protagonist now gets a letter from her future self telling her that he is going to kill himself in the future, and basically tells her what to do in order to prevent him from committing suicide. I absolutely loved the first volume. I didn't love the second volume as much because I found the ending to be pretty problematic, with the overall message, but I can't tell you exactly what I mean because it would be spoiling a lot. So, but yeah, definitely I would say if this is triggering for you, please don't read this, please. But yeah, overall, I really love the friendship in this. However, this one is set in the future from where the letters are sent. So we have different romances going on and it's super weird to read about, honestly. And I don't know if this was really necessary. I kind of want a sequel that is actually set in the alternated future, and the author, I think, actually mentioned it in the end that there is going to be a volume 7, so to say, but I don't know if that's still the plan. So yeah, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I then listened to the audiobook for The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. First of all, we have to talk about the cover because I love covers and it's just so stunning, and especially under the dust jacket, So this is a book that is kind of inspired by Les Miserables. And yeah, it's set in 1828. And this basically follows the miracle court. And we have smaller guilds, like the Guild of Chance, the Guild of Beggars, the Guild of Assassins, and so on. So this is basically a place for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. Yeah, I really don't know what I read because it was just all over the place. The protagonist was super chaotic, and honestly, this was so forgettable. I have no idea what happened. It might also be because I listened to the audiobook. Shouldn't do that in the future, I know, but it's just so much faster. But yeah, I don't know. The writing style was like super weird. Also, sometimes I was following along while listening to the audiobook, and there were quite a few changes actually that were being made in this book compared to the audiobook. So thought I'd mention it. But yeah, I don't really know. So I gave it like 3 stars, but I don't know. I don't feel like I really read this book. I'm really exposing myself right now. Let's move on to a book where I can actually like talk more about it. It was the one physical book that I read in August, and that was Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I am reading this with a bunch of people, and we are going to read the sequels in the upcoming months too. And yeah, so I have started this 2 times in the past before. I always DNF'd it like after 30 pages or so because it was just so confusing, and it is a little info dumpy in the beginning, but we had a couple of like theories that really kept us going. I feel like it was really intriguing and had loads of questions, and these really kept me reading, even though it took me a very long time to read this because I was really in a slump, honestly. But I really ended up enjoying this. I have also written a Goodreads review about it. I'm really excited to read Kingsbane in September. Hopefully we'll get some answers because like there was one thing in the end where it was like, what? But yeah. What I didn't really like were the fight scenes, but in general I don't really care about them, to be honest. And then I don't really care for Audric. Like, he's a nice guy, but I don't want to say he doesn't have like a personality, but I don't know. Is there like a better word than unseasoned? Like maybe boring? I don't know. But I love Corian. I'm really excited to read more about him. But yeah, I feel like I can't really tell you too much about this book because, you know, spoilers, but it definitely does not deserve the bad reviews, and you just have to keep reading until like page 100. It definitely gets intriguing after that page mark. And now we're already at the last book for this month. Yeah. I also got an ARC from NetGalley to read Court of Lions, which is the sequel to Mirage by Sumaya Daoud. This is a Moroccan-inspired fantasy set in space. And the first one was really surprising. It is about a couple of different like planets. They're kind of at war, or one oppresses the other, and stuff goes down. But I feel like I can't tell you exactly what the second book is about, but I feel like it was just about the marriage, and I didn't really care for it, honestly. It was just like, okay, let's move on. So I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. So yeah, these are all of the books that I read in August. Yeah. Hopefully September will be better. I certainly have to be because my TBR is huge. Huge. But yeah, I still hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.